Nnamdi Kanu, a name synonymous with the struggle for Biafran independence, remains a central figure in Nigeria's socio-political landscape. His journey, filled with activism, legal battles, and international attention, continues to unfold. Kanu's leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, or IPOB, has been marked by calls for secession and self-determination for the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. His fiery rhetoric and unwavering stance have garnered both fervent support and fierce opposition. Before we continue, we want to remind you that at Time and Events, we explore the many dimensions of the human experience. Our content is crafted to inform, inspire, and ignite meaningful reflection. Like, comment, and subscribe. To understand Kanu's influence, one must consider the historical grievances and socio-economic disparities that fuel the Biafran separatist movement. The Igbo people, predominantly residing in the southeast, have long felt marginalized and excluded from the Nigerian political and economic mainstream. Kanu's activism has been met with legal challenges and government crackdowns. His arrest in 2015 and subsequent trials on charges of treason and incitement have become major points of contention. His case has drawn international attention, with human rights organizations raising concerns about due process and the treatment of IPOB members. Calls for his release and a fair trial have echoed across the globe. The Nigerian government views IPOB as a terrorist organization and accuses Kanu of inciting violence and disrupting national unity. They maintain that his actions threaten the stability of the country. The conflict between IPOB and the Nigerian government has, unfortunately, resulted in violence and loss of life. Reports of clashes between IPOB members and security forces continue to surface, further exacerbating tensions. The legal aspects of Kanu's case are complex, involving questions of freedom of speech, self-determination, and the limits of government power. Legal experts offer varying opinions on the validity of the charges and the fairness of the proceedings. Public opinion on Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB is deeply divided. Supporters view him as a hero and a champion of Igbo rights, while critics accuse him of promoting hate and division. Recent developments in Kanu's trial include insert factual updates about court dates, rulings, and legal arguments. The proceedings continue to be closely monitored by both local and international observers. Political analysts suggest that Kanu's case has significant implications for Nigerian politics, potentially influencing the upcoming elections and exacerbating existing ethnic and regional tensions. Back in the southeast, people show support and solidarity for Kanu, highlighting the deep-rooted connection and unwavering support from his followers. Past alliances and relationship are indicative of the power and influence Nnamdi Kanu has. Looking at his previous relationships shows his status and impact. Nnamdi Kanu is one of many figures who have supported the Biafran movement. It is crucial to remember the movement as a whole. The economic impacts of the sit-at-home orders are substantial. Analyzing the monetary losses and how businesses are affected in the region, the southeast region of Nigeria has 5 main states that make up the Igbo region, highlighting cultural and geographical indicators of the area, discussing social media and its role in spreading information and misinformation, how various platforms contribute to the narrative around IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. Recent quotes from Nnamdi Kanu shows insights into his current mindset and strategies, analyzing the key messages and themes in his latest statements. IPOB's tactics compared to other separatist movements highlights global perspectives and strategies, drawing parallels and contrasts in their approaches, examining government policies and actions intended to counter IPOB's influence, analyzing their effectiveness and impact on the region. Peaceful demonstrations by IPOB supporters reflect the nonviolent aspect of their movement, showcasing solidarity and determination. Reviewing the international community's stance on the Biafran issue, examining the positions and statements of various countries and organizations. A personal story from someone affected by the IPOB government conflict offers a human perspective, understanding the emotional and practical challenges faced by those involved. Highlighting the role of women in the IPOB movement recognizes their contributions, examining their activities and involvement, addressing the challenges faced by journalists reporting on the IPOB issue, highlighting risks and obstacles in covering the story. Comparing the current situation with the Biafran War puts into context, understanding historical parallels and differences. IPOB-initiated community projects indicates their attempts to engage with the people, showcasing positive contributions beyond political activism. A perspective from an Igbo leader offers local insight and context, understanding the views of respected figures within the community, considering the long-term implications of the Biafran issue for Nigerian unity, evaluating its effect on national identity and cohesion. The plight of internally displaced persons, IDPs, demonstrates the human cost of the conflict, highlighting the needs and struggles of those uprooted. Religion plays a role in the Biafran movement, examining its influence on ideology and mobilization. The possibility of a referendum on Biafran independence is discussed. Legal perspectives on its feasibility and implications. Youth involvement in the IPOB movement reflects generational attitudes, understanding their motivations and aspirations. Effectiveness of nonviolent versus violent strategies is analyzed, comparing the outcomes of different approaches. The economic viability of an independent Biafra is assessed, economic perspectives on its resources and sustainability. Natural resources in the southeast region are shown, identifying economic assets and opportunities. Diaspora support of the IPOB movement reflects global connections, examining their financial and advocacy contributions. A Nigerian politician's perspective offers national context, understanding views beyond the southeast region. Potential for reconciliation and dialogue is discussed, assessing possibilities for peaceful resolution. Cultural events celebrating Igbo heritage are displayed, showcasing pride and identity. Security analyst perspectives reflect concerns, analyzing the impact on regional stability. Legal options available to Nnamdi Kanu are reviewed. Understanding defense strategies. IPOB members participating in voter registration reflects civic engagement, showcasing participation in democratic processes. Propaganda usage by both sides is examined. Analyzing messaging techniques. Human rights lawyer perspectives are displayed. Understanding ethical considerations. Preservation efforts reflect cultural pride, showcasing community actions. Historical context of Biafra is reviewed, understanding significance. The story of Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB remains a complex and evolving narrative. Understanding the nuances and multiple perspectives is crucial for comprehending its impact on Nigeria and beyond. At Time and Events, we explore the many dimensions of the human experience. Our content is crafted to inform, inspire, and ignite meaningful reflection. If you're seeking understanding, inspiration, or the true pulse of life, this is your space to watch, learn, and reflect. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.